The next generation of gaming is going to look a lot different today. Let's take a look at Amazon. What's up everybody, Brad here. And the next generation of gaming is going to look a lot different than it does, well, this generation, candidly. There's going to be a lot more players involved. And so what I've done, and candidly, this is to help me get aligned personally with everything that is going on, is taking a closer look at all of the players in the industry who are going to be impacting the next generation of gaming. And it's not just the typical Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. We've got people like Amazon, we've got Google, and even Apple. And so what I've done is I've put together a series of videos, and this is the first one if you're watching it, and we're going to dive into Amazon. Because Amazon has the potential to completely disrupt what we know as the traditional gaming industry. And so what I've done is I've taken all of these companies and we're going to compare them across several different metrics that include cloud, intellectual property or IP, fan base, services, and hardware. And so what I've done is I've rated them in each category, which the last video will bring all this together. But the idea is not that this is the holy Bible of gaming rating services or all that. It's just trying to put things into perspective to help you understand where companies are strong, where they are weak, and where they have the potential to improve. So on this edition, we're going to start off with Amazon because I think Amazon might be the most interesting company in the gaming world, mostly because they've got a lot of money, they've got a really killer service, they've got cloud infrastructure, but they are missing a few components. So we're going to start with cloud here. And if you're not familiar, Amazon has AWS, which is their Amazon cloud service, and it is probably the best in the industry. Now, comparing it to Microsoft, yes, it is better. They do make more money. Game developers, for one reason or another, tend to prefer to AWS. Actually, a lot of the studios that Microsoft bought were on AWS, and they're moving them over to Azure slowly but surely. But for cloud, I think Amazon by far has the one to beat currently. Now, there are other services from like Google and Microsoft that can compete, but I think that Amazon probably has the best cloud that is the most used in the industry. And for obvious reasons, Amazon has to get an A there. There's no other way to describe Amazon other than AWS has been a monster of a revenue driver, and they're using that platform to drive other services and businesses. So Amazon clearly grabbing an A in that category. Now, when we look at the fan base of Amazon, this one is a little bit more tricky because it's not so nuanced where you have things like hardware and it's like real easy to talk about. Amazon purchased Twitch. And Twitch has been probably their best purchase, at least on the gaming side, obviously, for ever. They paid about $970 million for this. And it is basically the ESPN or the modern day ESPN of gaming services. If you want to watch people gaming, if you want to watch esports, Twitch is the place to go. That is by far an absolute, I will argue, I will die on that hill because that is where you go. You go to Twitch, Twitch is killing it. And Amazon has done a great job taking that product and integrating it into some other things. Now, the question is, does that mean that they have a solid fan base? I don't know if that is actually true. Yes, Twitch is a great service. Twitch is wonderful, but I don't know if there's any loyalty to Twitch other than the users who are actually making money. Granted, if there's a great esports service that's happening on Google, you're going to go over there and watch it. You're not going to be like, I'm not going to go watch Google. So for a fan base of Amazon-based gaming, I'm giving them a C. It's not that they are the worst in the industry. It's just that they need to prove that they actually have a fan base rather than people who just go to Twitch to watch it. I'm not saying that Twitch is bad. It's just I don't know if there's any loyalty to it at this point. But at the same time, it's a great service, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, for the company. Now, the big thing in the gaming industry is obviously intellectual property or games. This is where Amazon starts to fall apart, and maybe this is okay. We don't fully know. Amazon is trying in the gaming industry. They have a game called New World, which they've shown off, and it's going to be shipping here in a little bit. You can actually get into the beta if you're lucky. So Amazon does also have Amazon Game Studio. So they are making investments in this space, but we don't know how aggressively, and we all know that games are what matter. And Amazon has to invest more than just one game or even a handful of games, because you can look at other companies who have tried this with one-off games that it doesn't really work out. You have to throw a whole bunch of things out there and see what sticks, because a lot of things, just because you give a gaming company or gaming studio, I should say, a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to get a great game. We've seen this this model like, okay, we'll give them $1 billion budget, and then a game comes out and it totally flops. We've also seen where people have no money and they come out with a game and it's a huge home run. So Amazon, I think, is by far the weakest at their intellectual property currently, and I'm going to give them a D. I think that is their weakest point in their whole gaming strategy currently, but that might be okay. If Amazon decides that it doesn't want to be a gaming player, it just wants to be the ESPN of gaming, which, by the way, folks, there is a lot of money there. That might be okay. We haven't heard Amazon officially announce a game streaming service, which kicks us into services, by the way. Because Amazon has the killer service right now, which is Twitch, which we've talked about. It brings a lot of people to the gaming community, very specifically gaming, because you could, when we talk about Google, it's saying, hey, YouTube has a lot of people there that they can funnel in, but they're not all for gaming, right? They're not all for gaming. When you go to Twitch, you're there to watch gaming content for the most part. Yes, I know you can do some chat and coffee talk and all that good stuff, but the vast majority of people there are fellow gamers, which means Amazon needs to funnel them into a gaming service. They're trying to build up IP, but they're really lacking in that area so far. And we don't know if they have a true game streaming service on the horizon. They haven't officially announced one yet. I would have to think that they are working on it, mostly because, hey, they have just about the best cloud in the industry. They have Twitch, which Twitch is the best service for watching games. And it's a natural marriage to take that next step and go into the game streaming platform. But they haven't officially announced this in real capacity yet, but I'd have to think that they're working on this. So for services, I'm going to give Amazon a B, primarily because, again, Twitch is leading the charge. It dwarfs everything else, and it is a great thing for Amazon. And I think they'll be okay if they just stay in the Twitch market and the streaming market, game streaming market, I should say, watching it, not the actual streaming of games per se. And then the last category is hardware. Amazon doesn't really have hardware. Yes, they have their Echo devices. Yes, they have Fire sticks and tablets out in there, but none of these are really gaming related things. Even Google is coming out with a controller. So Amazon has a long way to go if they want to actually reach into the gaming community and touch them with a piece of hardware. That's a weird analogy, but you know what I mean. So for that, I give them a D. And this is, again, Amazon has two weak spots, IP and hardware. Both things that they can improve because they have the cash to do it if they want to. Or they might just ride out Twitch and just be okay with the streaming platform where you go to watch it online, which again has a lot of money. So this is just a look at Amazon and where they are good, where they are bad. We got cloud with an A. We got fan base with a C. We got IP with a D. We got services with a B. And then we got hardware with a D. Wrapping this all up, guys, I think Amazon is in an interesting position. And the reason why I said at the beginning they're so interesting is that if they wanted to go into that game streaming market, they have the ability to do so. They have the technology, they have the eyeballs, they have the user base. They're missing the IP and the hardware. We know this. But if they decide to go into that arena, they're going to, one, give Google a hell of a time, because why would you build on Google's cloud for Google's service when you could build on AWS, which most game developers prefer, and access Twitch, which is primarily gaming, if you're going to build a new game, right? If you're starting from scratch and all that good stuff, I think Amazon would make a much more compelling argument than Google would. The question is, will Amazon go whole hog into this platform? We will find out. We will find out. But Amazon is one to keep your eye on, because if Amazon does go tackle this market, they're going to have a huge leg up if they play their cards right. That's the first iteration, guys, here. This is just taking a closer look at Amazon. We're going to be hitting all the companies. You can find out the links below once all those videos are live, or the full write-up. As always, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you right back here next time.